What's up, everybody? Steven Milhausen here, Sporting News and DAZN. And before we get going, it's August the 13th, 2020. Think about that. August the 13th, 2020. Steven Milhausen, formerly of Sporting News and DAZN. And man, just a weird year already. And wow, it's weird just to, see what's been going on in 2020. And you look at, my nose itches. I don't know why. But you look at how this year has gone and you're just like, wow. What's going on in MMA, the UFC, there's no fans in the venues, and there's jacking up pay-per-view prices. Conor McGregor's only fought once. Jorge Masvidal's become an ultra mega star. Boxing is still doing goofy boxing things. And the WWE and AEW, they're nipping at AEW's nipping at WWE's heels, and who knows what is going to end up happening there. And right now, it's not looking good if you are a WWE fan, but looking good if you are an AEW fan. But overall, it's a good time to be a professional wrestling fan. But before we'll get into that in another podcast, just want to let everybody know real quick. See the video, subscribe to the channel. A lot of cool stuff on this channel. CM Punk, Chael Sonnen, Dana White, Anthony Joshua. I can keep going. Young Bucks, Chris Jericho. Just look. Bill Goldberg. Promise. Triple H. Tons cool stuff on there. Just a lot of cool stuff on there. So make sure you guys do definitely check that out, please. It's a great channel. The channel we're doing reaction stuff. I did a reaction thing on Monday with the news of Mike Tyson and Roy Jones being postponed to from September 12th to November the 28th. A quick update on that. From what I'm hearing is they're trying to get that out of the state of California. I'm hearing Nevada. I'm unfortunately hearing the state of Texas. So a very interesting time in the world of boxing. That never disappoints. So we'll do a boxing podcast, a boxing reaction video. That'll be on the video coming out later today. But the big news, and I was going to do this video yesterday when the news broke, but I'm getting new gutters, fascia, spacia, all these other ascias. I don't understand. These people were here late, man. We got here at 7:30 Chicago time, and we're here till 5:30. Working and grinding. I paid a ton of money to get all this work done. So hopefully it will be well worth it. But the big news of the day on Wednesday was this. Paige VanZant signing with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships. Now, the multi-fight deal, a multi-million-dollar deal. BKFC president David Feldman told BJPenn.com the plan is for her to fight in November. It's a 4-fight contract. People are wondering, is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? Feldman told BJPenn.com 4. I have confirmed 4. The plan is November. The plan is to put her in there, and they're really going to build this up. And this has gotten a lot of interesting reaction, and I want to get some of VanZant's reaction. ESPN broke the initial story, and she said it was an amazing contract, an amazing opportunity. I also feel like it's not a move backwards for me. It's a lateral move to a new opportunity, a new challenge, a brand new sport. I really have sparked a brand new passion for it, and especially for striking in general. And on top of that, I feel like I still have this stigma in MMA that I'm just a pretty face. And what a way to prove to people that that's not the way I see myself at all. This is a sport where people probably have the highest rate of getting cut open and having long-term scars. It's definitely something I'm not even worried about for me. It's just a love of competition, and I'm really excited to go out there and show off in such an amazing sport. There's a lot to unpack there. And I'll start with, it's an amazing contract, but you're getting a ton of money. A multi-million-dollar deal. She's getting paid. And good for her. I could never, let's just be honest. We can't begrudge the athletes. I remember being a kid and thinking, man, these athletes make way too much money. Now being in the game 10 years, you see these guys and girls get hosed. They get hogwashed in terms of pay. Pay is absurd. Pay is ridiculous. For someone that's got over 335,600 followers on Twitter, and then on Instagram, let's see what she's got on the good old Insta. 2.7 million followers. She's a social media darling. Bar none. It is a brand new challenge. It is an interesting move. She was talking, and I know she talked to Bare Knuckle. She talked to Bellator. She had conversations with one. She talked to Invicta. And the talks with Invicta didn't go far, but Invicta did inquire, and there was a conversation. She talked to Ryzen. There's one more. And it wasn't another bare knuckle outfit. Oh, she had talks with UFC. But just the talks with UFC weren't going to be realistic. They really weren't. From what I'm told, she was reluctant on going to Asia. Just considering of everything going on in the world right now, she really didn't know, okay, the money wasn't bad, but just with everything going on in the world right now, because you look at the American stars for one, Demetrius Johnson, Eddie Alvarez, Sage Northcutt, the three big guys in North America competing over there, unless you're holding a card here in the United States, they're an Asian-based promotion. They don't even know when they're going to fight. So how is she going to know? She wants to compete this year. That's the thing. She wants to get that Amanda Ribas loss a few weeks ago. She wants to get that out of her system. She wants to get back and compete. She wants to compete in 2020. That was her plan. So when you whittle that down, and ultimately in MMA Fighting reported, I confirmed it as well. It came down to Bellator and BKFC. I'll give BKFC this. They came out from the jump. As soon as she became available, they were on her. They stuck to her like glue, like Gorilla Glue, and made it clear they want her. They want her to be the major face of this promotion because they got some money. And they want to sign some names. They want to get back on the map. In all honesty, they fell off after the Artem Lobov Paulie Malignaggi fight in June of 2019. Got a ton of pub. I remember writing about it vigorously. I remember talking to Artem. Artem Lobov couldn't have been more excited to pound Paulie Malignaggi in the face. So you got to, and then after they've had some shows and they've tailed off and they haven't gotten really that much publicity. And then they got back in the news recently when it was announced last month they had signed a deal with DAZN. And I'm not going to sit here and pump the people that sign my paychecks, because I will criticize them as well when need be. And this is not a DAZN. I want to make this clear to people also. This is not a DAZN podcast. This is a Steve Mielhausen production. So it's independent of anything DAZN, Sporting News, or anyone at DAZN North America has to say. It's my views only, and I'm allowed to do this stuff. So I'm going to make that perfectly clear, but I always like beginning because I think it does help this podcast and it helps this brand that I do have national recognition. But you know what? You look at it, and I don't know the parameters of that deal, but I imagine there is some money that is going to be coming their way. And if we could put one-on-one together, and this is just, we're spitballing here, I imagine some of that is people like to say the DAZN money is going over there. And it's going over to them, which is then in turn going to Paige VanZant. And it's also just, you look at business in general. They really haven't spent extraordinary amounts of money. Got to pay people, got to pay fighters. I imagine Lobov cost him a little bit of a fine penny. It's the same thing with Malignaggi to make a few appearances and fight and do proper promotion and stuff like that. And but this helps them tremendously. And you got a little bit of an influx of money. And now you can be like, okay, what can we do to build up our brand and also build a subscription base for DAZN? Paige VanZant's proven she can draw ratings. Look at the fight with Michelle Waterson that was on Fox. A couple million viewers. When Fox really hadn't done very well on the UFC, her and Michelle Waterson drew a hell of a rating after she came off Dancing with the Stars. And she's very popular. She's always trending. Anytime she fights, she had over 100,000 Google trends for you. And she's always trending. When she's fighting and competing, she's a proven commodity. And that's what Bare Knuckle needs. They need that. She was 8-5 in the UFC. You got to look at it as, okay, not the greatest. She wasn't a world beater by any stretch of the imagination. We'll be honest. I'm trying to see here if she trended yesterday. No. I'm a little surprised by that, actually. Let's look right here. Wow, Dick's Sporting Goods trended on the other day. I wonder why. I like Dick's Sporting. That's where I get my golf clubs. But you look at this situation and you're like, they need names. She's one of the biggest names in the sport, for better or for worse. And people can say, and she said it, she wants to get that stigma of that she's just a pretty face. She is an attractive woman, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you can leverage anything you have to get success, do it. Do it. Why not? There's people in this world that are in, whether it's in sports, entertainment, or in media, or the political world, or finding people that don't deserve anything get opportunities. Hey, each his own. I'm okay with that. Get what's yours. If you're going to work hard and do it. She works hard to promote her brand. It seemed that Bellator 2 was a no-brainer. Her husband, Austin Vanderlord, fights for them. I was like, okay, man, the husband Austin fights for him? But from what MMA Fighting is reporting, there was, let me look here. I had it right here. Let's see. She declined the offer, which is interesting, especially with the husband fighting for him. I wonder how good he's got to feel today. Poor Austin Vanderford. Man, my wife, I'm here thinking my wife's going to come fight with me. Then she doesn't come? Man, I wonder how that conversation went in the Vanderford VanZant household. I would feel a little slighted. I'd be a little bummed. Man, if my wife's a nurse at a prominent hospital in Chicago, one of the prominent hospitals in the world, based out here in Chicago, and if I turned down an opportunity to work there, I think she'd be mad. I'd be mad if she got an opportunity to work for DAZN Sporting News and she turned it down. I'd be a little bummed. Be a little sad. I feel a little bad for poor Austin. But she turned on the offer. And it seemed like her thing was money. And she made that clear. She was doing more for Instagram posts. She claims, I don't know if it's true. I haven't seen her checking account, but she said, and it's likely that she was making more doing that than for promotions, like doing sponsorships and shit like that on Instagram. Getting paid more to do that than getting paid for UFC fights, and that's been the constant problem with fighters. They want more money. If one place isn't going, and this is why I don't begrudge her at all. If one place isn't going to give it to you, go somewhere else. That's okay. It's free. It's a free market. You let your contract run out, go. Test yourself. Find out. I can never begrudge a fighter when they want to find out their worth. That's the problem when fighters don't do that. Or people in general don't do that. What are you worth? What is your value? It's hard right now, and this is a very unique time we're in. Let's just be honest. 2020 is very messed up. 2020 sucks. I can't wait till the clock is about to strike midnight on December 31st. I can't wait to tell 2020, mwah, kiss my rear end, adios. Let's get 2021 and let's kick butt, take names, and make a little more noise. It's been screwed up here, guys. Can't begrudge her. She took the best opportunity for her. I can't. And she does got a point to prove. Because there are a lot of people out there, and the majority of the MMA fan base think, oh, you're just a pretty face, a woman who's an attractive woman. And that's what people view her as. Oh, or you were on Dancing with the Stars. Or you're the Instagram girl. She's got a point to prove. She's got adjustments to make. She's 8-5. She's had a rough time. If you kind of and you look at the rebounds fight, lost first round submission, UFC 251. First fight in 18 months. She had won back-to-back fights. She was looking pretty good. But this situation with her arm has really, really deterred her. She said in my mind, I'm going to go ahead and delete that last fight and start over. I don't know how long this negotiation stuff goes. I'm hoping quick because I definitely don't have any injuries. I don't even know if I got hit, so I'm ready to fight again. She wants to fight. And this was before she signed. And that's what she told MMA Fighting before she signed this deal. She has that stigma on her. She knows it. She's not stupid. She's a very smart lady. 5-4 in the UFC, 8-5 overall record. It's a multi-fight. It's a 4-fight deal worth over $1 million with incentives attached, which can make it a multi-million-dollar deal. She is training at ATT, which I think is a really big deal. You got some of the best strikers in the world. You got Jorge Masvidal. You got Amanda Nunes. You got led by Mike Brown's a great striking coach. So I think she's in a really good spot. And that's what she's got. Risking getting hit in the face like that is because Bare Knuckle Fighting, I've watched it. I've watched a lot of their shows. Not many fighters leave unscathed. She is taking a monumental risk here. Is she making a mistake? At first, it's one of those things where at first I'm like, okay. Like I had heard the rumors. It looked likely. I had asked about a month, right after the fight. I asked maybe 10 days after the fight. And I was told it looked likely. But, I go through the process. She wanted to give the UFC a final chance. And they're like, oh, no thanks. Which was expected. A lot of bad feelings on her side. And I would have some bitter feelings. I've drawn these ratings for you in headlining positions, and people are watching fights because of me. I should be compensated more for look at what I did for the sport going on Dancing with the Stars, and look at the profile I raised for myself, which in turn goes around and helps your organization. and still getting paid peanuts, pennies on the dollar. All these fighters to me are getting paid. The majority of fighters are getting paid pennies to the dollar in the UFC. And that's unfortunate. Is she making a mistake? No. Hell no. How is she making a mistake? Because I keep seeing this on social media. Oh, she don't know what she's doing, and why would you make a move that's setting you back? Ain't no one paying her damn bill. I'm not paying her damn bills. Neither is anyone criticizing her. She goes in. She's not going to get Beck Rawlings right away. There's going to be a rematch. I'm pretty certain that's the plan. Give her a fight. Let her get her feet wet. Maybe even 2 fights. See how things are going. Maybe you renegotiate. Yeah, get a little more on your deal. Extend it for another 2-3 fights. And then, bam, you get a title fight. Become the champion. And there you go. My wife brought me iced coffee. Hey, Duncan. Love you. Iced coffee, caramel. Cream only. Boom. Sponsor, baby. Love me an iced coffee. Whew. Tasty yummy in the tummy. But she's not making a mistake here. She's getting paid really good money. Most money she's made in her career for fighting. This allows her to continue what she's doing. She continued to grow her profile. She's going to grow Bare Knuckles' profile. Where that puts them financially, I don't know. I don't know their financial parameters, but I would have to imagine being with the Zone. I think financially they got to be doing somewhat okay now. They're getting some type of money coming in to where they can pay the fighters, put on good shows, and so on and so forth. It's not a mistake at all. It's 4 fights. If it does okay, if it doesn't work out for both sides, it doesn't work out for both sides. People are like, oh, what if her face gets messed up and things heal? They do. Maybe it takes a little longer than you like. But I don't think it's like the world's worst move here. If her face gets marked up a little bit, she recovers. She's a tough cookie. This isn't like she's someone who's just, this doesn't like the throw. She is trying to develop her striking, and that's fine. I got no problem with her doing that. Everyone's got this big, oh my God, what is she doing? Why does she have? No. If I'm in her position, I would have done the same exact thing. There is nothing wrong with what she did. She made the best move for her in her career. She feels it's right. I think it's right. Why not? Why not see how great you really are? Why not take that chance to see how big of an attraction you really are? Because I think she is one. Dancing with the Stars for her was a game changer. It's done a lot for different people. She is one of those people where it's done a lot for to raise her profile. You can't fault her. I don't. I know people do, but you can't in this situation. We're going to see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's wrong. We're gonna find out very, very quickly. And that will be it for there's a short little reaction podcast. Man, I went longer. Man, you guys get me going. I can't stop. But for everyone that has watched this video, thank you so much. It's really greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. Where you're listening to the audio, thank you so much. It means a lot. It's greatly appreciated. If you're watching on YouTube, click the subscribe button, like the post, and then leave it. If you want to leave a comment as well. I answer every question. I answer every comment, even if it's with a thumbs up, because I just don't want to I'm not a big fan of cussing. Really, with children, you learn very quickly. You try not to do that. Sometimes it slips out, but the end goal is always try not to do that. Also, if you're listening on audio, just rate, review, download, subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Overcast, Anchor, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Just walk away to Fight Club. Boom. Click that subscribe button. Give me 5 stars. Give me a good review. I did put in an audio version. I'm not putting this up on YouTube. It's only going up on the audio. It's only going to be available for podcast. a January 2011 interview I did with Daniel Cormier, who headlines this weekend UFC 252, the trilogy bout, as he looks to regain the heavyweight championship from Stipe Miocic. UFC 252, live and only on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. We talked before he co-headlines a Strikeforce Challenger show in January 2011 against Devin Cole. Talk about the time at AKA, fighting 5 times in 2010, getting started in MMA in 2010, working with Cain Velasquez when he dethroned Brock Lesnar. An interesting tale, and when I re-listened to this on Wednesday, it really intrigued me, of a story of when he initially got into amateur wrestling, what he initially thought amateur wrestling was. I couldn't stop laughing. I remember I was laughing. I was doing dishes, and I was like, man, that was great. And then the conversation he had in 2004 with Kurt Angle. What did he tells me what Kurt Angle said to him that deterred him from not going to the WWE and instead going on the journey to become a 2-time Olympian. A great interview. It's only available on audio on your favorite podcasting platforms, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Overcast, Anchor, or your favorite podcasting platform. You can find me on Twitter right there, S Mielhausen JR. You can find the Walkway to Fight Club on Facebook. Just click the like button, follow us. We're at 1,000 likes and 1,000 fans, so let's get that over to 1,100. Also find us on Twitter at Walkway Fight, and also find the podcast find the page on Instagram. Yes, we have an Instagram page. It's just all lowercase letters, Walkway to Fight Club. A ton of more. I got more videos coming out today, so definitely stay locked in for that. I'm Steven Mielhausen, and I will talk to you guys later.